Fade in, ocean horizon, dawn. A deep red sun emerges above the horizon, penetrating distant mists. Title: Miyagi. Japanese first, then English. Close up. Kesuke Miyagi, our young protagonist, stands at the bow of a beaten-up steamboat, the Hinomaru. A full crop of hair spills out the sides of his sailor's cap, which shields his eyes from the day's first rays of light. He gazes intently into the distance, bobbing and weaving through the swell of the Pacific Ocean. Thick clouds lurk with ominous potential. Over exterior, the Hinomaru, a ramshackle 50-foot freighter and occasional whaling vessel, trudges east toward the sunrise. Interior, captain's quarters. Captain Takei takes the helm. He is thin and short, and his eyes are hard. The tidiness of his mustache gives him a distinguished presence. The Japanese flag flaps frantically behind him. Exterior, Hinomaru decks. A handful of rugged sailors stand on deck, silently taking in the coming of a new day. A series of brief close-ups introduces each. A wormy-looking man named Yakunen, takes a swig from his flask. Another spits over the rails. He is bigger and burlier than the rest. A tank top reveals his variety of sailor tattoos. His name is McDougal, and he is the alpha male. He puffs a cigarette. In fact, they're all smoking, all but for one. Fumio Miyagi is noticeably different. He has a long gray goatee and an even longer samurai sword sheathed at his waist. His eyes speak of wisdom and foretelling. There is a storm coming. Close up Kesuke. There's a resemblance with his father's eyes. Kesuke looks almost old enough for high school graduation. Suddenly, his eyes become as big as the rising sun. Reverse shot, ocean horizon. A whale breaches the surface, light glimmering off its back. Kesuke takes a second to make sure he's not hallucinating, then whips around and shouts at the top of his lungs.
クジラだ !2 時 !100 メートル
Captain Takei gives him a nod, blows a horn, cranks the helm.
Prepare harpoons!
Nice. Cue whale music. Kesuke bolts down a ladder into the cabin and awakens two men from their bunks. He is on edge. This is his first whale.
捕まえたぞみんな手伝え
Kesuke races back above decks and is met by Fumio, calm, cool, collected.
Kesuke, do not panic. Breathe. Stay balanced. Watch my rope. Eyes and ears open.
Yes, お父さん
Kesuke turns slowly around the bow, but as soon as he turns the corner, he bolts ahead. Boat drops, sending Kesuke flat on his face. The change of direction has indeed put the Hinomaru in a more vulnerable position across the oncoming swell. On top of that, the rain clouds break. A sailor emerges from below decks and nearly gets thrown overboard. Motubo mounts the main harpoon cannon at the bow.
All right, you son of a bitch. It's showtime. Here's our ticket home.
The crew shouts back excitedly. Yakunen lets fly a harpoon, misses wide right. The whale descends into the white water.
Shit!
Again, the boat drops, sending Kesuke violently to his knees. He crawls towards the handrails, but it's too late. He spews a half-digested breakfast onto the decks. The whale breaches again 20 yards away. This time, Motubo takes a shot, but a big swell lifts the bow and he misses high. Kesuke gets tossed again. He lands at Motubo's feet, covered in puke.
You made me miss, boy. Get your weak ass up.
Kesuke stumbles to his feet and untangles a rope that's attached to the end of Fumio's handheld harpoon gun. And just in time, Fumio fires and hits the whale directly in the flank. The whale descends. Fumio grabs a harpoon and moves swiftly to the back of the boat.
It's away to stern with one line. Fire!
The sailors obey, but the turbulence throws them off balance and their weapons hit nothing but water. With cat-like balance, Fumio ties a harpoon to a rope.
Full slack, Kesuke.
Kesuke somehow gets himself to the rope wheel. He struggles with all his might to release a lever which gives way just in the nick of time. Close up Fumio. Fumio closes his eyes, and for a moment the world dissolves. The faintest breeze can be heard, the slightest slap of water against the ship's hull. Then he launches the harpoon toward the sky like an Olympic javelinist. The Hail Mary whirls through the air, arcs, and comes crashing down, pierces the water's surface, and bam! The line catches, immediately pulls taut and drags the stern asunder, which causes a tremendous wall of water to crash over Fumio.
お父さん
Captain Takei kicks it into full throttle and the vessel swings around, engaged in a life or death game of tug of war between man, machine, and beast. The frame and cables of the Hinomaru struggle audibly. Motubo fires a harpoon cannon from close range. It hits.
Take that, ugly bastard.
At last, the whale is defeated. The Hinomaru rises up out of the water, and somehow, miraculously, Fumio Miyagi is on his own 2 feet. He's bent so far that his ass is an inch away from touching the deck. Motubo lets out a boisterous laugh, and the crew hoots and hollers in celebration as they hook the whale in its flanks. The winch crane starts to crank. Fumio, having done his job, walks quietly to the bow. Kesuke is right behind him.
すごいショットだ Bullseye from 30 meters at least.
Fumio grunts. The sunrise has passed, but still he gazes east toward the horizon.
How you do that? You must teach me.
Fumio faces his son.
Kesuke, when the world surrounds you with chaos and fear, you must find balance. You must find balance here and here.
Fumio points to Kesuke's head and chest.
You know happy? We finally can go home.
We have taken a life in the name of profit. This is not happiness. And do not be sure of the road ahead. There is something beyond the horizon. Something dangerous. Can you feel it?
At this moment, a strange noise, something we've never heard before, painful and distant, mammalian but alien. Fumio abruptly walks along the rails toward the noise, and here we witness something horrific. Free shot on. It's a scene of torture. The whale has been hoisted to deck. The sailors prod it with pikes and hooks, bleeding it out slowly while shouting obscenities and laughing. Fumio commands authoritatively.
Stop! Mercy!
The crew turns around, surprised by this interruption.
Fumio, thanks to your fine handiwork, this ugly bastard is ours, and we have reason to celebrate at last. Kanpei!
Bye.
Yeah, they take a
Bye.
swig. This isn't. Yeah, Fumio.
This is not the way, Motubo. That creature is our gift, not our prisoner. It deserves mercy.
And who are you to tell us what to do, Miyagi?
Fumio turns and looks up to see Captain Takei peering back from the helm, poker-faced, conveying a limitation in leadership. Fumio turns back around, undeterred.
It is not the way.
Fumio advances toward the whale. Motubo and crew block his path, weapons in hand. Without breaking stride, Fumio's hand moves slowly toward the sword at his waist. A second of hesitation from Motubo, which is enough. The crew steps out of the way. Fumio puts his left hand on the whale's forehead and mutters something to himself. And in a flash, he unsheaths the sword, jumps up in the air, spins, comes down with a superhuman strength, and decapitates the whale with a single strike. Gallons of blood pour out of the whale's neck cavity. The crew is silent, shocked and appalled. Yakunen throws up his morning sake all over the handrails. And without saying a word, Fumio wipes the blade clean, sheaths it, turns, and walks toward the cabin. He looks up at Takei and gives him a solid quarter bow. Takei reciprocates with the slightest of nods. Reaction shot of Kesuke. Snaps out of it and follows his father down into the dark interior of the Hinomaru. And scene. First scene. Okay. Act 1, Scene 2. Interior Hinomaru. Miyagi cabin. Night. Fade from black. An oil lamp reveals father and son huddled around a table, surrounded by wall shelves chock full of tools, maps, food, etc. They face each other, eating fish and rice. Kesuke breaks the silence.
Oto-san, I must ask, why you make conflict with Motobo and break solidarity with the crew?
Son, Bushido, karate, is a righteous path. Motobo rules with brutality. His ways are selfish and cruel. I do not make conflict. The conflict already exists. There is no choice. There is only the path.
Why you decapitate the whale?
Sometimes one must demonstrate strength in order to make peace. This is also balance. Mercy is the way of Bushido. All life deserves mercy, Kesuke.
With this whale, we have enough money to pay back Sato and restore peace to Tomi village. I can see Yuki-chan again.
Enough with Yuki-chan. You must forget her completely. Sato is a powerful man for his age. His pride consumes him. If you seek any peace at home, you will bow to Yuki. If you pass her in the street. That is all. Not even a word.
He demands a fight either way.
It is not your fight, Kesuke. It is his own. We will go to Nara and fish with your uncle Akihiro. No more whales.
Kesuke lifts a piece of fish with his chopsticks.
Fish and whale and fish, what's the difference? No understand.
The difference is your intention, Kesuke. There is life and death in every breath. You must find that balance. But remember, the life you take, it stays with you. It becomes you.
Kesuke stares at the fish. Suddenly, he's lost his appetite. Fade to black. End scene. Over exterior Hinomaru, afternoon. Seagulls trailing, we approach a tropical mountainous atoll. And at last, we are told of our setting. Title: Waikoloa, Hawaii, 1938. The Hinomaru cruises into harbor. Boats with mysterious flags pass by. Kesuke catches glimpses of sailors from faraway lands. Some stare back. Cultures crossing paths for the first time. On land, people mill about docks, marketplaces, eateries. The crew ties up the Hinomaru. Yakunen falls to his knees and kisses the dock.
Land, oh land, I never thought I'd see you again.
Because Yakunen should have been a farmer, not a sailor. What a bitch.
A customs agent appears, paperwork in hand. His mustache curls up neatly on each side.
Aloha! Welcome to Waikoloa! I need the boat's name, captain's name, number of crew, point of embarkation, and cargo.
Aloha, Hinomaru, Captain Ikiro, Takei, 7 crew. Okinawa have beluga whale and 500k sake from Tokyo.
The crew offloads their personal belongings.
Do you have a trade agent here?
Hi, George Haley-san.
Oh, of course, Mr. Haley will be contacted immediately. Hey there, stop!
Fumio understands the agent's tone, but not his words. He looks to Takei for translation.
No weapons ought to be brought on shore. City law. That goes for all of you. We've got enough trouble around here as it is.
Leave weapons on board. City law.
Fumio hesitates. The Miyagi samurai sword is not just a weapon, not just a family heirloom. It is a vital part of his way of life, his code. Dutifully, and with great resolve, he returns the sword aboard the Hinomaru. Motubo and crew observe maliciously.
There's a vacancy at the White Pearl where Mr. Haley takes residence. However, you may be more inclined to be at the Leilani Hotel or the Hula Hula.
We stay at Leilani. Thank you.
Captain, Kesuke and I will stay on board, if we may.
Kesuke lets out a whine of protest. Fumio gives him a clout to the back of the head. Motubo and friends laugh derisively, which helps Takei register the meaning of such an unusual request.
Cheaper that way.
Hi. We take leave on Monday sunrise. If you need me, ask for Susie.
Yes, Captain.
Fumio half bows. Takei acknowledges, turns, and leads the crew along the docks.
Let's go.
Wide overhead, the sailors, minus our protagonists, walk up wooden steps, passing a motley crew of boisterous gamblers tossing dice. Pan follows their route and freezes on wide shot of bustling Waikoloa, where action shortly awaits. Cut, fade from black. Through the palmettos, sun going down over the mountains. Exterior, white pearl, in patio, dusk. Captain Takei and George Haley sit at a small table, sipping the sunset in. They've had a few tumblers of rum and are working on another. This secluded patio, with its cobblestones and view of the valley below, serves as Haley's personal office space. Haley's white Havana suit and slick-back, salt and pepper hair convey business, but his gold tooth, gaudy jewelry, and faint facial scar show evidence of his seedy past. He is well-tanned and speaks with a hint of a Caribbean accent.
Takei, you yellow piece of shit. Over 20 years, one would expect your English to improve, but it's gotten worse.
You no change either. Suit no fool me.
They take a healthy gulp.
So listen, everything is taken care of. The clean cut on the beluga earned you an extra 2 points. A few evenings in Susie's good graces, I reckon.
Haley hands Takei an envelope. Takei instinctively holds it under the table, counts the cash, nods to Haley.
What, you don't know me after all these years?
Suit no fool me.
Bottoms up, they stand up and shake hands.
Remember, watch out for Rita if you want to keep your genitals intact.
Genitals?
Your pecker.
Oh, Pekka. Ding dong.
They laugh.
Ha ha ha. Money's always good here, Takei. Go in one piece, you son of a bitch.
Sayonara, Haley-san.
Medium overhead. Takei wobbles out of the frame. Cut. Exterior tourist trap restaurant in town, night. Fumio and Kesuke exit and walk contentedly toward the docks.
That pizza was amazing. Pineapple and ham and all that cheese.
They say it's authentic American cuisine, so why don't they call it French fry? I don't understand.
American food, so strange.
Hi.
Can you see the volcano tomorrow? They say the island is growing every day. It's alive.
They're now approaching the docks.
And what if the volcano decides to erupt like Fuji? You'll become a French fry.
You understand what the waiter said about the sofas? They make boards out of balsa trees and ride them on the wave. I love to see that.
Hi.
I'm going to sleep well tonight.
Deep, dark laughter resonates from the shadows of a nearby alley. Motubo and company emerge. They've been waiting there.
Yankee, there you are.
The interruption takes father and son off guard. One shows it, the other does not.
Have you ever tried American whiskey, Miyagi? Bourbon, they call it. Tastes like us, but at least it's not sake.
The sailors laugh boisterously, bottles in hand.
Ie, arigato.
Nice. Motubo steps forward, blocking their path.
Where do you think you're going? Back to the water to sleep with your whale friends?
We come in peace.
Peace. Oh, good, because that's what we want too. The thing is, in order to make peace, we need to set a few rules for the trip home, see?
Let us pass.
Not so tough without your sword, are you, Miyagi? Listen, you do what I say from now on, understand? If I tell you to give me a goddamn rice, you smile and you give it to me. If I tell you to clean the toilet with a toothbrush, you get on your hands and knees and do it. You're my bitch. Got it?
The crew snickers.
We're going back to Okinawa, and then we'll never have to see each other again. Any grievances you have can be directed to Captain Takei.
If I hear even a whisper of complaint to Takei, you and your excuse for son are crab bait.
Fumio doesn't acknowledge the threat. Instead, he slowly proceeds towards the dock, only to be flanked by the crew.
You must have seaweed in your ears, Miyagi. Boys, I finally figured it out. There's only one possible explanation. Miyagi here, his wife must be a whale. That's why he was so upset yesterday. We killed his sister-in-law.
Enough! You insult my honor!
Matubo blocks him. This is it. Matubo throws the first strike with a straight fist to Fumio's head and a left hook to his chest. Fumio, of course, is ready. He slips and ducks the punches. Matubo is drunk and off balance. Kesuke capitalizes with a monster kick to the chest that sends Matubo flying backward. Two sailors come at Fumio from each side.
Oto-san, look out!
Run, Kesuke! Find Takei!
But it's too late. Yakunen grabs Kesuke from behind and puts him in a full Nelson. The fifth and final sailor punches Kesuke in the gut. He goes down. The attackers then join up with the others, coming at Fumio from all directions. And they are met by a world of hurt. Fumio Miyagi is a total badass karate master. He pulls out all the stops, blocks and ducks, jumps and spins, punches and kicks and tosses. This is what we came to see. You could say he has a very particular set of skills. Matubo gets up, goes over to a nearby dinghy and grabs a paddle. Fumio avoids his wild swings with ease. Yakunen chucks a whiskey bottle and hits Fumio in the back. The glass shatters. That one hurt. Matubo laughs. Kesuke gets up to see Fumio on the ground bleeding. And here he makes a pivotal decision. Instead of going into town to find Captain Takei, he sprints to the Hinomaru and retrieves the Miyagi sword. Fumio gets up, and the sailors hurl their bottles at him. He dodges the first with lightning speed and karate chops the next two, shards of glass exploding in all directions. Yakunen whips a sai out of his boot and comes at Fumio with another attacker. Kesuke returns to the fight scene.
Oto-san, here!
He tosses the sword toward Fumio. It lands at his feet.
Kesuke, no!
But there's no time to explain. From behind, Matubo smashes a half-empty whiskey bottle over the back of Kesuke's head. He goes down cold. And finally, Fumio Miyagi snaps. He sends Yakunen flying with a monster dropkick, picks up the sword off the ground, charges, whips out the blade, and separates Matubo's head from his torso with a furious 360-degree ninja jump spin slice. Fumio stands over Matubo's body soaked in blood, sword fully extended toward the sky. He takes a few breaths before coming back to earth. Shock and awe are painted over the faces of the remaining sailors. They drop their weapons and flee toward town. Fumio runs over to his son and drops to his knees.
Kesuke, can you hear me?
Angle, he takes a deep breath, claps his hands and rubs them together. Pan away, freeze on the docks. Fumio trudges through the frame, Kesuke over his shoulders. Exterior Leilani Hotel, night. The wood frame Leilani sits nicely off the beaten track. Like any brothel, the place has character. Fumio manages his way through the front entrance, completely disheveled. Interior, Susie, the matron, is waiting for him there. 3 different colored young women in silk gowns hover on edge.
Oh dear. Put him there on the couch. Lisa, tend to the boy.
They obey.
Put down your sword.
Where is Takei?
I said put down your sword. There will be no bloodshed here.
Where is he?
Takei bursts through an interior door. Behind him are Yakunen and another sailor, and behind them, more excited escorts. Takei's intoxication brings out his leadership abilities.
Dostano, what is the meaning of this?
Captain, they ambushed and attacked us.
Yakunen says you killed Motubo.
Close-up Yakunen, fear and deceit written all over.
It was self-defense. Look at Kesuke.
You lying, motherfucker. You will be hanged.
Silence. Do you deny the murder, Miyagi?
Captain, it was self-defense. Motubo threatened to kill us if we did not obey him. He insulted my family honor. They attacked us with weapons. I did not want this outcome.
You were given direct orders to leave your sword on board. Do you deny the murder?
Fumio answers in silence.
You forced me to make a decision.
He turns to Yakunen and Crony.
You two, go to the hula hula and don't leave until I find you in the morning.
Captain.
Immediately.
They obey. Takei turns back to Fumio.
Come with me now. Retrieve your belongings. You will be protected here.
This is not part of the agreement.
Takei pulls out a roll of cash, peels off a few bills, slams them down on the countertop.
Keep the boy safe. If we don't return by midnight, send for Haley-san.
Aye.
Yosh!
Takei and Fumio exit swiftly. For a moment, Kesuke's eyes crack open. He lets out a moan. Susie guides a bottle of rum down his throat.
Drink this, sweetheart. That's better. That's it.
Kesuke gurgles it down, passes out. Cut. Docks. Night. Where land meets water, Fumio and Takei face each other. Two trunks lay at either side of Fumio.
Fumio Miyagi, you have served the Hinomaru with hard work and integrity. You are a man of great honor, but you cannot return with us. It will mean certain death.
Captain Takei takes out the roll of cash and hands Fumio his share. Then, seeing the blood on Fumio's face and remembering there's one less shareholder, peels off a few more bills.
You should pay yourself home, though I would wait for things to cool off.
You are an honorable and fair captain, as always. If you will hear it, I have one final request for the peace of my hometown, Nari, and the honor of the Miyagi name.
Speak.
You know of the Sato Fishing Company in Okinawa? Please deliver the news of what's happened to Sato. If we pay our way home now, that leaves us with little to pay him back. He will think we are running from the debt, but I swear it, I will return to Nari with the money.
Will be done.
Fumio gives an earnest bow.
May the wind be at your back, Captain Takei.
Tsukure-sama deshita, Miyagi-san.
He returns the bow. Cut to black. Fade from black. Exterior Leilani Hotel balcony. Morning. Close up, Kesuke's eyes open. His point of view, a very hazy dawn over Waikoloa Harbor. Is this a dream? A boat is disembarking in the distance. Could it be the Hinomaru? A voice speaks from beside him.
Kesuke, I must teach you something while it still hurts.
Otosan?
Violence is a primal instinct that carries with it the weight of fear, pain, and suffering. You feel that pain now. A weapon is merely a tool, an instrument that serves a higher purpose. You've witnessed how weapons can escalate violence beyond our control. How the wind fills a sail, this is how violence carries a man.
Fumio sips a cup of tea, letting his words sink in, choosing them carefully.
The sword.
The sword is double-sided, Kesuke. A samurai fights for honor, for truth, for justice. The way of Bushido is peace, not power, mercy, not aggression.
Medium, Hinomaru heading out to sea. Two sailors heave something heavy onto the rails. It's covered by canvas and wrapped around with chains. And in the blink of an eye, Motubo's corpse crashes into the water to sleep with the fishes.
I took Motubo's life, and now we must pay the consequence, in exile. We now begin a new life, my son, here in Hawaii.
Close up Kesuke. His world is turned upside down with every word. This must be a dream. Over the shoulder, the Hinomaru hits the horizon, going west. Fade to black. And that's Act 1. All right. Act 2. Exterior Murphy's auto, day. A flat-roofed pastel auto shop basks in the high sun. Tropical mountains frame the background. Title, Oahu, 1939. Interior Murphy's. In his corner office, Pete Murphy leans back in a chair with a telephone pressed to his ear. He's a handsome, slim man whose ginger hair is turning gray. Crow's feet mark a lifetime's enjoyment of the simple pleasures, particularly Irish whiskey. Metal fans spin slowly about the high ceilings of the shop floor. A pair of mechanics are working underneath the belly of a Dodge pickup truck. Close up underneath truck. It's the Miyagis. Kesuke is on his back, tightening a nut with a long monkey wrench. Fumio guides him.
Good, Kesuke, good. Slowly. By going slower, you go faster. Breathe. Good. Now the next.
Back in the office, Murphy sits up intently. This is turning into an unusual conversation.
So this Toyota guy, he wants to sell his cars in the US. Okay, I get that. What I'm having trouble understanding is why me or any of the other fellas that are at this table. Well, it sounds like they're digging pretty low. I mean, they sure have a funny way of doing business. But if he wants to pick up the tab, it's fine by me. Separate table. For the women? But how much family is he bringing? By golly. Okay, Steve. Got the customer here. I'll be there.
He hangs up the phone and exits the office to greet Hank Nelson, a strong-jawed, middle-aged man, an Irish-American peer.
Good afternoon, Mr. Nelson.
Good afternoon, Mr. Murphy. How's she doing?
Oh, just fine, just fine. We calibrated the oil gauge. I'd wager that she did that did the trick. Purr's real nice now.
Murphy hands Nelson his keys along with an invoice.
Swell. I appreciate the work on such short notice. Pat and I gonna get this load of bricks down to the depot and new post office in town. Pat says, now wait a second. Those Japs over there, are they with you?
The Miyagis have come out from under the truck. They definitely know the word Jap by now. Fumio gets the gist and turns away. Kesuke, on the other hand, looks on perceptively.
That man is the most reliable mechanic I've ever had, and the apprentice is his son.
If you think I'm going to patronize our enemies with my business on the brink of war, you are surely mistaken.
I don't know what you mean here, Mr. Nelson.
Don't you read the news? That's what they are. The Japs are in bed with Hitler and Mussolini.
As far as I can tell, we've got nothing to do with it.
Of course we got something to do with it, Murph. The Jerrys, the Ruskies, the Italians, and now the Japs are settling to take over the whole goddamn world. It's the great goddamn war all over again.
I really don't know about all of that, Mr. Nelson. But what I can say is that those two are honest, hard-working men.
Christ, haven't you heard about the way they fight? They probably laid a booby trap in my transmission.
Kesuke can't hold back any longer.
Sir, that's ridiculous. We would never.
Fumio quickly gives Kesuke a clout to the back of his head.
Silence!
Listen to them. Ridiculous. They're taking over the island, Murph. They're taking over the territory, and they're fixing to take over the whole goddamn country from inside out.
Nelson crumples up the invoice, throws it in the direction of the Miyagis, gets in his Ford pickup truck.
Come on now, Nelson. That's not fair.
Nelson revs the engine and pulls out.
I'll pay you when those yellow-bellied Japs are good and gone.
Defeated, Murphy turns around to see Fumio ushering Kesuke out the back screen door. Exterior rear, Murphy's auto.
Kesuke, never talk back to the white man.
Did you even understand what he was saying?
It does not matter. You must choose your battles. This is not the battle to choose.
It feels like every day now they choose to battle with us, degrade us, insult us. He insult our honor.
Fumio sighs. This is not the strictly obedient son we knew in the first act.
The man is not wrong, Kesuke. There is a war coming. Can you feel it?
He gestures toward the sky. An ominous breeze blows.
Otosan, you don't read the news. You don't listen to the radio.
The war is coming from every direction, for you and me. It is not as simple as good versus evil. We are going to have to make difficult choices.
Otosan, I don't.
Listen to me. You are going to have to choose, not just who you are fighting for, but what you are fighting for.
Fumio points to Kesuke's head and chest.
You may not understand right now, but the choices will come soon enough. For now, Murphy-san won't want you around. See you at home.
Kesuke sighs.
Yes, Otosan.
Kesuke turns and walks home along a dirt path. The trees lining one side of the path open up into a mix of fields and coastal dunes. Our protagonist's goatee is filling in nicely. He's dealing with typical episodes of adolescence: independence, identity, sexuality. Out of nowhere, a butterfly crosses Kesuke's path. It flurries right under his nose. What's this? Kesuke tries to cup the butterfly in his hands, but the creature is evasive. Without much else to do, he follows it down a path less traveled that bends toward the ocean, turning to sand. The butterfly catches a gust of wind toward a cane field, joining it with a whole colony, feeding upon flowery bushes clustered about a grassy knoll. Kesuke turns a sharp corner and freezes at the field's edge. He sees something that will change his life forever. A beautiful young Japanese-American woman is smelling the flowers, braiding them into her hair. She is amidst a cloud of butterflies. A dozen have landed upon her red kimono. Kesuke is stunned. The scent of the flowers pours through his nostrils. Oh, if only he could lay down, curl up into a cocoon, and turn into a butterfly so that he could fluster over and rest upon her shoulder, her waist, her... A group of surfers have turned the corner and collided with Kesuke, who is completely oblivious to their approach. And here we meet the crew. Kamataka Kalahigiola is the leader. 25 years of age, he is tall and thin, especially for a native Hawaiian. His long, oily hair falls over a beaded necklace onto his shirtless back. Tribal tattoos accent his wiry, hairless body. He is quite the figure, carrying a balsa longboard with proud confidence. Behind Kamataka is Frank Jones, of similar age. A trucker's hat covers his blonde hair, which one might expect to be longer, and a blue Hawaiian shirt covers his bronzed body, hairy chest underneath. Completing the trio is Barney Hajiro, a 22-year-old Japanese-American born and raised in Hawaii. Khaki shorts and a cargo green t-shirt cover his slender, small frame. A full crop of straight hair borders his big, innocent-looking eyes. As full-fledged locals, Kamataka and Barney speak Hawaiian Pidgin English, the hybrid Creole mix that developed out of the melting pot of Hawaii during this time. Frank, being an army brat that spent much of his life in Georgia, brings a southern twang into the mix. Frank collides into Kamataka and drops one of the two boards he's carrying.
Dag nabbit!
Kesuke abruptly wakes up from his reverie.
Oh, so sorry. Didn't see you.
You got ears, don't you?
So sorry.
Kamataka quickly evaluates the situation.
What are you doing here, pal?
Kesuke reaches for words and reflexively glances toward the mysterious flower lady. The crew's eyes follow. They ooh and ah unabashedly.
A scarlet begonia flourishes amidst the canes.
The others laugh. She hears their ruckus. Kesuke's heart explodes. Blushing makes her even more beautiful. She turns and walks away, butterflies flapping in her wake.
You better go catch her before she flies away.
Kesuke can't hide his embarrassment. His blush is not as graceful.
Don't worry about it, buddy. Now she knows you exist.
Hey, you look familiar. You work for Murphy, don't you?
Hello.
That's right. You fixed the transmission on our old stove bolt about a month ago.
The 1928?
That's right.
You did one hell of a good job on her, too.
Kesuke is grateful for the compliment.
What's your name, man?
Miyagi. Kensuke Miyagi.
You surf, Kesuke Miyagi?
No, I want to. Look, so fun.
That's the spirit. Well, now, if you ain't no tourist like you say you are, do us a favor and grab that longboard and come on down with us, would you?
Kesuke doesn't know what to say. It's all happening so fast. These guys are way too cool.
Unless you got somewhere else to be.
Digging flowers.
Chasing butterflies.
Ha! Nowhere to be. No tourist.
The crew lets out a laugh. They're not used to this degree of humility.
All right, boys, let's go.
Medium free shot of crew walking down dune path. Kesuke struggles to keep pace. He has no idea how to hold the surfboard. Ahead of him, the others laugh the whole way down to their daily post-work ritual. Beach, day. Big barrels break beautifully in the background. Kamataka and Frank jog back and forth along the beach. Barney is with Kesuke, stretching by a fire pit.
Good to meet you, Kesuke. I'm Barney, Hajiro.
Good to meet you, Hajiro-san.
Call me Barney.
Barney? Barney. Not easy for me.
Where are you from?
Tomi village, near Okinawa, you know?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Maui. My parents moved here from Hiroshima during the Great War.
Oh, you American.
Hi, Nisei. How long have you been working for Murphy?
Just over a year. What you guys do?
What, for work? Cam and I are stevedores. I also bust tables at the Mahalo Inn, though probably not for long. Cam's got some side hustles, too. And Frank is in the Navy stationed at Pearl Harbor. He comes out this way for R&R.
Kamataka and Frank have returned.
English, assholes.
I was just telling Miyagi here what a couple of sandbagging pig fuckers you are.
How do you say pig fucker in Japanese?
Butabak!
They laugh. The ice is breaking.
Please forgive these assholes. Introductions are actually fairly common practice in American culture.
A smiling Kamataka extends his hand.
I'm Kamataka Kalahikiola. It's a lot even for the natives. Call me Cam.
Frank Jones.
Good to meet you.
Kamataka hands Kesuke the longboard.
All right, Miyagi. Here's your new best friend. Treat her nice and she'll make your heart sing more than Madame Butterfly back there. Treat her bad and she'll find a way to make you regret it. Got it?
Hey.
Kesuke doesn't get it.
This ends the front.
The crew paddles out. It's a surfer's delight. They carve out the most beautiful waves you've ever seen, and all to themselves. Meanwhile, Kesuke gets pummeled, not even knowing how to duck dive. Eventually, he gets past the white water and tries to get on a wave. Flops hard and fast. Kamataka carves out the barrel of a dream wave. Barney and Frank are good, but not that good. Kesuke catches one on the stomach and gets carried to shore.
Whoa!
Nice one!
Kesuke puts on a big smile. Wide, the sun is going down. On the decline, the boys paddle in, walking.
You're a natural, Miyagi. You sure you never done this before?
I couldn't even get up.
Most people don't their first time.
How you do that? How you do it?
They arrive back at the fire pit.
Well, you're in pretty good shape. I reckon from turning wrenches all day. But surfing ain't no nuts and bolts, man. It's fluid, you see? It's waves. My old man taught me to ride the wave, you must become the wave.
Frank and Barney make fun of Kamataka behind his back, exaggerating his gestures. Cam notices Kesuke's smiling glance, picks up a football, and chucks it at Frank. They share a laugh and start passing the ball around.
Say, who was that lady you were stalking anyway?
Don't know. Never seen her before.
Girl like that, you'd remember.
I'd wager she's with the Toyota family. I saw them come in off the docks Tuesday, at least a dozen of them.
Who the hell is the Toyota family?
Some kind of automobile outfit from Japan, from what I hear.
Boys, I shit you not, they're gonna be at the Mahalo Friday night. I overheard Mr. Thompson, my boss Miyagi, big Butafaku, talking about them. Some kind of big business dinner deal. They want to use Hawaii as a stepping stone to sell Toyota cars in the States.
Barney passes the ball to Cam.
That's just what we need, more asphalt and factories.
Kamataka passes to Frank.
Boys, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Yes.
I don't know.
Oh, come on, Barn. This is the moment we've been waiting for. You put up with this bullshit for way too long.
Kamataka passes to Barney.
You're right. It's perfect. Ha!
Barney passes to a smiling Frank.
You think he's ready?
Jonesy passes to Cam. Oh, that's Frank. Yeah.
Miyagi, how would you like a chance to see Lady Toyota sooner than later?
Don't understand.
Got any plans Friday night?
No?
You know where the Mahalo Inn is?
Hey,
In the back, there's a tool shed. Meet us there at 8. Don't be late. Come alone. Tell a soul and don't bother coming back around here again. Got it?
Kesuke has no idea what's going on, but he's in.
hey.
Kamataka passes the football to Kesuke. He catches it above his head, barely.
Cowabunga!
Kesuke attempts to launch the ball, but it slips from his grip, flops high in the air, and lands a few yards away. They all laugh and head back up toward the dudes.
First time throw a football.
Gotta turn your back ankle.
We've got a lot of ground to cover, Miyagi. We can show you a lot of first times. That is, if you pass the first test. Friday night.
Cam gives him a wink.
Sayonara, Miyagi.
Sayonara.
They split ways. Close up Kesuke. The scene at Murphy's feels like a distant memory. Exterior Mahalo Inn, night. The Mahalo Inn crests a hill overlooking Honolulu. It's a classy establishment with fresh seafood and spiffy staff. The outside brick patio contains rows of long tables dressed in white cloth. The tables are booked and the action is in full swing. Exterior tool shed behind the inn. Kesuke creeps through the jungle, looking for the rendezvous point. An unusual bird call. He follows it to find Kamataka hiding behind a wooden wine barrel. Cam whispers excitedly.
Miyagi, I knew you'd come, but you're late. Now listen, Barney's on the inside. He's unlocked the chicken coop right there. And he's made damn sure those chickens are hungry. Frank is in the getaway. The sign is there. There's 3 horn honks, okay?
POV, scanning the scene. Through the palmettos, we see a table full of suits, a mix of Japanese and white men, finishing their main courses. There's Barney in a cheap tux, bussing a table.
When you hear the signal, your job is to turn those ceiling fans. See those switches? 1, 2, 3, 4. You following?
Hey,
Damn it, Miyagi. I can't tell if you're following.
3 hunks. Flip, switch, 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's it. So look, there's the Toyota over there.
Point of view. The Japanese man at the head of the table speaks and another translates. The men laugh loudly. Is that Mr. Murphy? He's sure drinking like Murphy, but Murphy doesn't wear suits. No time for that. Kesuke is looking for someone else.
Barney's been aiming to get back at Thompson, the pink fatso, right there, for some time now.
We pan to the left to see Mr. Thompson, then quickly return to the guests. Another table is full of women and youth, mostly Japanese.
Racist son of a bitch. Notice the waitstaff are all howlies, but everyone else is treated like shit.
Point of view, pan slowly, smiling white waiters serving, less happy looking darker skinned staff bussing.
This Toyota family, they're just like Thompson, exploiters, capitalists. They'll exploit our forests, our beaches, our docks, our people.
Point of view, pan freezes. And there she is, wearing a beautiful dress with matching flowers in her hair. Janice Toyota appears to be suffering through a conversation between a man and a woman on either side of her. Cam's words begin to fade.
It's all happened before. You have to understand, the natives here, we don't need any more exploitation from the...
3 horn honks.
That's it, go!
By the time Kesuke snaps out of it, Kamataka has already opened the chicken coop door. Kesuke makes a dash for the switchboard. The overhead fans turn, and as they pick up speed, little pellets spill over the fan blades. The blades accelerate, and the pellets rain down onto the patio. The crowd reacts. Mr. Thompson's face turns from pink to red. Kesuke bends over and picks up some of the pellets. Close up. They appear to be corn seed. And here come the chickens. They engulf the scene, flapping their wings furiously. Chaos ensues. Some people duck for cover. Others are petrified. A woman faints. A handful of men choose fight over flight. Their knives and plates become swords and shields. Bare-fisted Murphy swings wild drunken punches at his avian enemies, missing by miles.
Put up your claws, cocksuckers!
Nice. In the midst of all this, Barney approaches Mr. Thompson with a covered stainless steel platter.
Don't just stand there, you sloped son of a bitch. Do something.
Barney opens the platter to reveal a barbecued pig head with apple in mouth.
Oh, here's something. Looks just like you, don't he? Consider this my letter of resignation.
Barney tosses the head at Thompson's chest. Thompson has no choice but to catch it. Juice splatters everywhere.
You Jap motherfucker!
He yells at 2 other busboys.
Get him!
They must have selective hearing. Barney makes it for the front door, but gets knocked in the jaw by a waiter. Barney stumbles back. The waiter winds up for the KO. And out of nowhere, Kesuke sweeps out his legs. Thompson comes from behind and puts Kesuke in a full Nelson. But Kesuke has learned how to counter this hold. He feints backward, then uses Thompson's counter-forward motion to flip him entirely overhead with a judo toss. Thompson smashes onto a table, feathers and silverware flying everywhere. Barney gets up.
Holy hell, let's go!
They book it for the front door. The same waiter is back on his feet. He thinks about it for a second, then steps aside. Kesuke looks over his shoulder, and time slows down as he sees Janice is looking right at him, smiling. He turns back around, sprints out the front door, jumps into the back of Frank's pickup truck. Barney is there. Kamataka rides shotgun.
Got him.
Yeehaw!
They peel out. See. Long shot. Beach. Early afternoon. Medium shot of the fire pit. A diverse group of young people lounge around the fire pit, barbecuing and drinking beer. Kamataka and Kesuke are out on the glassy water. Cam straddles his board and instructs Kesuke, who is trying to stand upright on a long board.
That's it. Knees bent. Breathe. That's it. Eyes on the horizon. Good.
Kesuke wobbles and spills. His head pops out of the water.
Shoots.
Not bad.
Medium Kesuke and Kamitaka walking the shore.
Listen, don't get frustrated when you spill. Every wave is fleeting. You know what I mean? We're all facing the big wipeout one day. Believe that. So when you know the truth, that you will go down, you can have some control while you're up.
They approach the fire pit where Barney is in the middle of an animated story, beer in hand.
Speak of the devil. Everyone, this is Kesuke Miyagi.
Good to meet everyone.
A seated big fat islander named Rollo guffaws.
This is the guy that threw Dick Thompson over his head?
Don't let his size fool you. Dude's got some moves I've never seen before.
Kamitaka puts his arm around Kesuke. The gang is impressed.
Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. Join us, have a beer.
You'll have to pardon us for now. Miyagi and I have some serious business to discuss.
Cam nods to Barney and Jonesy, who is Frank. Then back to Rollo.
Okay. We'll take a couple for the road. Otherwise, everyone knows you'll drink them all to yourself.
You know it.
Rollo tosses 2 beers. Barney and Frank get up. They all walk along the beach.
We need to work on your English, buddy. It's good to meet you. You could even go as far as to say, it's good to meet you.
Kesuke looks at Frank quizzically.
Hey, take it easy.
Barney turns to Kesuke and explains in Japanese.
But he's got a point. Good to meet you. Try it.
Good to meet you.
How about this for a trade? You teach us some of your ninja skills and we'll teach you English.
Don't believe him, Miyagi. He don't speak English. He speaks pidgin, dirty, lazy bastard slang, not real proper English like me.
As if your slime dog Dixie shit slop were any better.
Cam improvises a karate move on Frank. Frank goes down playfully.
Good to meet you.
Kesuke delivers a friendly leg sweep on Kamitaka. They all go after one another, Kesuke laying them each flat in turn.
Teach me English and surfing, we have a deal.
Kesuke extends his hand and helps Kamitaka up. The move has turned into a handshake.
Deal. Here, I want to show you something.
The 2 of them walk over to the longboards. Cam grabs 2 small cans off the ground and tosses one to Kesuke.
This will help you get a grip. Surf wax for balance. Look.
They take a knee, facing each other. Kesuke imitates Cam applying the wax.
Nice and easy. Use your wrists, like this. Wax on, wax off.
Cam gives Kesuke the can. Kesuke puts down his other knee and double fists the wax.
Wax on, wax off. Wax on, wax off.
It's all in the wrists. Good.
Wax on, wax off. Wax on, wax off.
Sorry.
Kamitaka notices someone approaching from behind Kesuke.
Keep it up until you finish the board. Last piece of advice. Treat your board nice and gentle, like a lady. See if that helps. I gotta go.
Kamitaka gets up and leaves, smiling. Kesuke is totally absorbed in this new exercise. He mutters to himself.
Wax on, wax off. Wax on, wax off.
Is that how you treat a lady?
Kesuke turns around, and now she's right there, wearing a white button-down t-shirt, khaki shorts, and the same smile from last night.
What? Hi. What are you doing here?
I was wondering the same about you.
I was waxing bored. How long you been here watching me?
You were watching me the other day. Now we are even.
Kesuke is totally off guard.
My name is Nisu Toyota. What's your name?
Miyagi. Kensuke Miyagi.
It's good to meet you, Kesuke.
It's good to meet you, Janice.
Most Americans call me Jen.
They call me Miyagi.
A good name.
She smiles.
Do you speak Japanese?
あまり上手じゃないけど。
私の英語よりマシですよ。昨日はごめんなさい。あいつらはあんなやつ。昨日はごめんなさい。あいつらは最近会ったばっかりでそんなに迷惑かかるとは思わなかったんで。
Are you kidding? That was hilarious. That's why I came here to thank you.
What? 本当?
In my world, a good laugh is hard to come by these days. You should have seen the look on my cousin Hiroka's face. She's such a spoiled princess.
You're American?
はい、2世。
I heard your family is from Aichi.
My cousins are from Aicho. I was born and raised in San Francisco. You?
Nara Village, Okinawa.
Neat. But do you live here?
はい。My お父さん and I since June. Why is your family here?
We all follow my uncle Ikiro around the world to sell his cars. Half the family works for him, and the women support the men. So that's why we are here.
How long you here for?
I don't know. The war is tearing my family apart. The plan changes every day. Can you believe it? What do you think about the empire joining the Axis?
Oh, I don't follow the news. Don't look good. I don't know.
Beat.
Forget it. What brought you here?
Kesuke recovers.
Came here with family, my お父さん.
What do you do here? Besides surfing and causing mayhem?
We work Murphy's Auto Shop, north side of town.
You're from a car family too? Do you like it?
I'm from a fishing family, but hi, it's my job. Murphy's nice guy. Some customer, real jerks.
You're funny. So you have a big time surfer, huh?
Saved by the bell. There you
Jim,
go.
where are you?
Hiroka, the young woman sitting next to Janice at the dinner table, trudges through the dunes. She lacks the beauty and grace of Janice, and a jealousy drives her overbearing ways with her younger cousin.
Ah, that's Hiroka, my ball and chain. I gotta go. Listen, are you busy tomorrow? I could use a tour guide to show me around this island.
No plan.
Swell! Where can I find you?
How about here?
Perfect. I will see you here at noon. Sounds good?
Hey.
Bye, Kesuke.
Bye, Janice.
Janice sneaks up behind her cousin and kicks sand up her skirt. Hiroka is displeased. As the Toyota ladies exit the scene, Kesuke's wondrous gaze turns into a smile of unprecedented delight. Exterior Miyagi home, night. A soft glow can be seen through the screen windows of a humble hut tucked away against the palm trees. Kesuke approaches from off-screen and enters the front door. Interior Miyagi home. Fumio is seated at a table in the living/dining room, writing a letter under an oil lamp, the light of which is carried by low ceilings. He does not look up.
Hello, お父さん.
Kesuke heads straight for his room. Fumio puts down his pen.
Hello, son. Come here.
Kesuke obeys.
Where have you been?
the beach.
I can smell the booze in your breath from here. I do not know these new friends of yours. I would like to meet them.
Oto-san, please, would you let me be? I'm 19 years old.
Kesuke, there's troubling news from home.
What? Now? Sato?
It's much bigger than Sato, Kesuke. It's hard to interpret the letters, but the world is changing like they say. The destruction of Nanking appears to be true. Japan and the United States may likely go to war soon.
It doesn't make any sense. Didn't the Great War mean anything? You were in Siberia fighting with the Americans.
Hi, and that's where we first heard of the Lansing-Ishii Agreement, making Japan and USA allies. After that was the Nine-Power Treaty. All words, words, words. But nothing changed. Greed, fighting, war.
What does that mean? What does it all mean for us?
I wish I could tell you, my son. Who knows what the Americans will do to us if we stay here? And if we return to Okinawa, we will not be trusted either way. We are going to have to make some difficult choices, but the choice may not be the same for you as it is for me. That is my point. We don't have much family left, but what we do, I have a duty to protect. And yes, I can now afford to pay off our debt to Sato, but you are now of an age to start your own family and carry forth the Miyagi name, wherever you choose.
I just want to live a normal life.
Normal? What is normal?
I don't know. Get a job on the docks, surf on the weekend, not have to deal with all this.
There is no normal, Kesuke. There is only the path. You must use the virtues of Bushido to walk that path, not the paths of others. There are forces much bigger than us, circumstances beyond our control.
All right, right. On my path is to bed.
Kesuke walks toward his bedroom.
You say I can start my own family, right? Well, for that, I need a woman, right? Then, good. We're on the same page.
Point of view Fumio. Kesuke attempts to slam the bamboo screen door behind him, but the latch misses and the door bounces back open. Kesuke's hand appears from inside his room and gently puts the door in place. This last remark raises Fumio's eyebrows, and he goes back to his letters. Fade to black. Beach fire pit. Day. Next day. Same scene as yesterday. Over by the water, Kesuke teaches Kamataka, Barney, and Frank basic defensive karate stances.
Bend, elbow, more. Hip to chest. Good. Breathe in, breathe out.
Should my left leg be forward?
Yes. Bend knee more. Good.
Here she comes, dude.
Janice approaches from over the dunes. The boys loosen their stances. Barney and Frank automatically grab a beer.
Oh man, I'm nervous.
Remember, just be yourself.
Mostly.
Cam elbows Frank in the ribs.
Breathe in, breathe out.
Hi.
Hi, Janice. These are my friends, Cam, Barney, and Frank.
They greet one another.
Nice to meet you.
Our pleasure. We're glad you like our chicken.
Better than good.
Indeed.
You'll have to pardon us, miss. These two have been teaching Kesuke Pigeon, so don't blame him if he talks like a moron. It's not his fault.
It's okay. I think it's cute. So, what are we doing?
Waikiki.
Lovely. You ready?
Hey, let's go.
Have a good time.
Sayonara.
Wide, Waikiki Beach, day. 2 hotels dominate the horizon. Locals and tourists alike are enjoying sports and leisure. A couple of long wooden canoes cruise along the turquoise water. Kesuke and Janice take a long walk on the beach for their first date, warm water tickling their toes.
So many people.
Hawaiian royalty surf Waikiki since 1800s. Kamataka surfed here too, but then it got too touristy.
Many of them look Japanese.
They say a quarter Hawaii people from Japan.
I had no idea. What are those buildings?
Hotels. That's the Moana. Moana mean open ocean. That's the Royal Hawaiian.
I bet the views up there are amazing.
Hi.
Wanna sneak up?
Sneak up?
Hi.
Janice gives Kesuke a look that sends bolts of lightning up his spine. Establishing shot of the Moana Hotel. White ionic columns and intricate molding decorate this European-influenced luxury resort.
Just act like you're a guest. English. Actually, let me do the talking.
Hi.
They approach the entrance. An attendant holds the door.
Good afternoon.
Nailed it.
Thank you.
Kesuke gives an awkward nod. Now they're on the inside. Janice intuitively finds the elevator. This is not her first hotel. Interior Moana ballroom. The top floor has big views through panoramic windows.
It's beautiful.
Duke, Kahanamoku, and the Waikiki Beach Boys hang out here.
I heard about him. He's the sheriff, right?
Sheriff, Olympian, surfing champion, businessman, actor. He is the ultimate.
What a strange place where one man can be so many things.
Hey.
Do you see yourself living here forever? I mean, would you consider this home?
Maybe. Don't know. Last few years, much chaos. Can't tell. Wind will blow.
I know what you mean. I'm sick of being forced to move all these different places. I have no say in the matter, but I'm sure you know all about Giri. I'm forgetting what home feels like.
Hi. The same. Same.
But you know what? I think I might actually like this place.
She looks right at him when she says this. Kesuke recovers.
Where do you want to be home?
I do like California a lot. Not sure where exactly. North or south. Have you ever been?
Oh no, never been to the States.
Well, you should visit sometime.
My English very bad. can listen better than speak. Here I get by with pigeon, but there.
Not terrible. You're better than some of my cousins who's been speaking for decades. Maybe I can help you teach you. I used to teach school children in San Francisco.
Are you calling me a school child?
Children can be very sweet. Well, some of them.
I heard about the earthquake in San Francisco. You must be very brave to live there.
Hiroka says I'm unruly, but I like it better. Knowing an earthquake might come up any second makes me want to dance.
There's that look again. Boing!
Here we have volcanoes.
Volcanoes? Yes! I would love to see one.
Where are they?
Okay. None on this island.
So how do we get to the other islands?
Boat, I guess.
You mean you've never been?
No, never.
Well, let's go.
What? Now?
Do you have anywhere else to be? Maybe I should be your tour guide.
Ouch! Kesuke accepts the challenge.
Fine, let's go to the docks.
That's the spirit, Keisuke. We have so much to see.
She disarms him with a soft smile. The elevator door opens.
The door, please.
Janice grabs his hand and leads him into the elevator. As the elevator doors close, Kesuke's eyes are larger than frisbees. This is a montage, and it's a damn good one, too. The main sequence, the courtship of Kesuke and Janice, alternates with karate and surf lessons with the crew. Exterior Honolulu docks. Kesuke and Janice buy tickets from a ferry kiosk. They take a ferry to the main island and check out the Kilauea volcano. Things are heating up. Interior, Murphy's auto. Fumio and Kesuke wax a classic car, wax on, wax off. Murphy looks on from his office, smirking all-knowingly. Dissolve shot to beach. The crew waxes their surfboards with the same motion. Cut. Karate. Kesuke teaches the crew wrist motion defensive blocks. Cut. Surfing. With extra strength wrists, Kesuke paddles out past the whitewater. He catches a decent wave and wipes out. Cut. Outdoor restaurant with luau, night. Janice mimics the hula dancers, then drags Kesuke onto the dance floor. He overcomes the humility and shows off some saucy moves. Cut to beach. These moves translate into some fancy attacking karate footwork. The crew is getting the hang of it. Cut. Surfing. Kesuke prepares for a big wave. Here it comes. He gets pitted in a barrel. After falling out, his head pops out of the water wearing a big smile. Cut. Miyagi home. Kesuke enters undetected to find Fumio attempting to catch a fly with chopsticks. Cut. Tea house. Kesuke and Janice perform a traditional Japanese tea courtship ritual. Dissolve cut to water. Pan up. Ocean horizon. Sunset. Kesuke straddles his longboard on the glassy water, breathing deeply in meditation, eyes closed. He has found an identity, a balance between Fumio's old-school discipline, Janice's free-spirited love, and the crew's camaraderie. His eyes open to reveal death, peace, and understanding. He slowly stands up on top of the board. He extends. He enters, crane pose, silhouetting against the setting sun. Fade to black. All right, that's the montage. Secluded beach day. It's a perfect day for a wedding. Oh my God. Janice is radiant in a flowing white dress. She faces Kesuke, who is wearing a tuxedo, as the officiant says his blessings. The Toyotas fend off the sun with Japanese parasols. The Miyagi side of the aisle includes Fumio, Kamitaka, Barney, Frank, and Murphy. Exterior Moana courtyard night. Under the famous banyan tree, fire pits bathe the reception in flickering light. A ukulele band strums along for luau dancers. Dozens of guests eat, drink, dance, and rejoice. Kesuke and Janice are dancing hand in hand, wearing leis. Murphy is in good form, dancing with one of the Toyota cousins. Kamitaka, Frank, Barney, and Fumio stand by the bar in animated conversation. Barney translates with their karate master's karate master.
So we turned the corner and bam, we crashed right into him. Frank dropped his longboard. Kesuke was on another planet, just staring at her.
Barney imitates Kesuke. Frank and Kamitaka catch on and do the same. They all burst out laughing.
What a creep.
He says, what a creep.
They lose it.
Peeping Tom.
Barney translates. Fumio doesn't get it.
She was a butterfly. He was a caterpillar.
This one Fumio gets. After recovering from another round of laughter, he opens up.
Listen, I want you all to know that you have brought great happiness into my son's life. My grandfather used to say, pleasure seekers have no free time. Now, his wife, my grandmother, would say, giving birth to a baby is easier than worrying about it. I do not worry anymore. Kesuke is a man now.
Boys, I understood about half of that. I shit you not. But I'm pretty sure he said Kesuke is a man now.
Kesuke is a man now.
Fumio holds up a tumbler of sake. They reciprocate.
Kampai!
Kanpai.
Bottoms up. The band switches up the tune. The newlyweds waltz on over.
Look at these guys, fast friends.
We were just talking about when we all first crossed paths. Can you believe it?
Love at first sight, right, Kesuke?
With her or with us?
They all laugh. Fumio a second late just because it feels good.
And when did you know, Janice? When did you know he was the one?
at the Mara Hotel when Hiroka was on the ground rolling on a covered in chicken shit.
They lose it again.
Speaking of which, I want to introduce you to her, Barney. Just pretend you are the heir of some made-up corporation, and maybe you'll get lucky.
Barney doesn't have a choice. Janice grabs him by the hand and drags him over to the Toyota table. The guys exchange a look.
You sure picked a keeper, man.
No, thanks. Thanks, yeah.
Hooey! Look who it is.
A small posse surrounds Duke Kahanamoku as he enters the scene. Tall, dark, handsome, and approaching 50, he has the swagger of the world-famous celebrity that he is.
Pardon us.
Kamitaka and Frank bolt toward Duke. The posse blocks, doing its job.
What do you say, Sheriff?
Well, if it isn't Kamada Kalahikiola, how's it going, champ?
The posse relaxes. The natives shake hands warmly.
We're celebrating the most holy matrimony of my good buddy karate sensei Kesuke Miyagi over there and his beautiful and graceful Madame Butterfly Janice Toyota. Well, Miyagi now.
I see. Well, I received a report that there's a disturbance of peace at these coordinates. Just making sure everything is under control here.
He gives Cam a wink. They say a few words in their native tongue. Frank clears his throat.
Say, this here's my old pal, Frankie. He's all right for a howlie.
Starstruck, Frank extends his hand with military muscle memory.
Lieutenant J.G. Frank Jones, sir.
Lieutenant Jones, Sheriff Duke Kahanamoku. I've heard about that Toyota family. They're not going to find much business here.
Not if I can help it.
Say, is that Rolo?
Rolo, double fisting, approaches with a loud and boisterous laugh. Kesuke and Fumio look on from the sidelines, taking in the action. Kesuke shakes his head and smiles. Oh, the glory. Fumio faces his son.
Kesuke, there is something I want to share with you. Come with me, please.
Kesuke nods. Fumio grabs a long and narrow box from the registry table. They walk to a secluded space. A healthy fire crackles, casting its warm glow under the tall palm fronds.
My son, I am very proud of you. You have found balance here and here.
Fumio gestures towards Kesuke's head and heart.
Thank you for your blessing, Oto-san.
Fumio is even more serious than usual.
Listen, the time has come. I must return to Okinawa. The war is coming. I can feel it.
They're on the same page.
Wakarimashita.
You begin a new chapter for the Miyagi name. American citizen.
He smiles.
When do you leave?
Next week, during your honeymoon. The plan is as we have discussed.
Kesuke nods. Fumio presents the box with two hands.
Open it.
Gently, Kesuke lifts the box cover to reveal the Miyagi samurai sword.
Open it.
Kesuke slowly unsheathes the blade.
My father gave me this sword when I married your mother, and to him it was given by his father, and so on and so forth, all the way back to Shimpo Miyagi in the 17th century.
Extreme close-up. We pan slowly across the stainless steel, flames flickering in its reflection. An inscription in its base reads, Miyagi.
Now, I bequeath it to you.
Kesuke bows and holds the sword outward with both hands.
May this sword protect you. May it protect Janice. May it protect your children. Swear that you will use this sword as an instrument for righteousness, for self-control, for courage, for compassion, for respect, for loyalty, and for honor.
I swear it.
Now rise, Mr. Miyagi, and fulfill your destiny.
Yes. Kesuke rises. Father and son face each other. They bow deeply as we slowly fade to black. Wide exposure, high in the Oahu Mountains, approaching dusk. For their honeymoon, the newlyweds are backpacking Manoa Falls in the mountains above Honolulu. They're overlooking a spectacular view of the sun going down over Mamala Bay. In all of its glory, the city prepares for another vibrant Saturday evening. From here, the Waikiki hotels are the size of Monopoly board game pieces. Beyond that, the battleships of Pearl Harbor bask in a blood orange light. ...
To think that this was a kingdom only 50 years ago.
How quickly things can change.
Hi, we must be close. Ready?
Hi.
They hike up and around a dirt path. The sounds of the rainforest crescendo as the night divides the day. We arrive at the destination, a 150-foot waterfall deep in the heart of the jungle.
Noah Falls. Amazing.
Settle down here.
Yes, a room with a view.
I prepare fire.
Oh, Kesuke, it doesn't get any better than this.
They kiss. Exterior tent, night. You're kissing through the nice. The bubbly song of the waterfall creates a dissonant duet with the hiss of the fire, its elemental nemesis. The firelight casts a silhouette against the canvas tent. Two human figures, female on top of male, gyrate slowly in the throes of sweet lovemaking. A blanket of wind causes the fire to roar, fade to black, blackness. Still in darkness, we hear a distant thud. Smash cut. Kesuke bolts up, eyes wide open. This causes Janice to stir. Her voice is as sweet as molasses.
Honey, what's wrong?
Kesuke springs out of the tent. He approaches the overlook and freezes dead in his tracks. From this distance, his point of view, the scene unfurls in miniature. The bomber planes look and sound like a swarm of mosquitoes. Tiny clouds of smoke take shape as explosives detonate over Pearl Harbor. The faint sound of the heavy artillery return fire, sporadic and muffled, like a flock of woodpeckers has congregated on the other side of the thick forest. Janice catches up and is petrified. Her blanket drops from her shoulders. Over the shoulder, long wide shot of Pearl Harbor. A foghorn alarm reaches the hills at last, whispering death. The first wave of the Japanese Imperial surprise attack washes over the horizon. Shrapnel and blood drown the harbor in a carnage that will forever live in historical infamy. Fade to black. Five minutes. All right, we're back. Smash cut. San Francisco National Cemetery Day. Fog pouring through the Golden Gate provides the backdrop for a funeral being held. A pastor offers prayers to the mourners gathered around the burial ground. A procession of Navy men in uniform stand at ease. Kesuke, Janice, Kamataka, and Barney contrast with the otherwise all-white congregation some of whom shoot daggers from the corners of their eyes. Close up, the gravestone is decorated in military fashion. It reads, Franklin Alexander Jones II, June 10th, 1917 to December 7th, 1941. Remember Pearl Harbor. The Navy men shoot blanks towards the heavens. Exterior, San Francisco Ferry Building, dusk. The city shimmers in melancholy grayness. Amidst the bustling docks behind the ferry building, Kesuke, Janice, Kamataka, and Barney face one another. Leather luggage bags slump on each side of Kamataka. This is a hard goodbye for the crew that we've come to know and love.
You are from a very nice place.
Would you please come back soon?
It's not too late to stay, Cam.
The island is calling me home, my friend. Besides, you won't be staying here for long either.
And join us in the fight.
Kamataka hesitates.
Guys, don't. This is not the time.
It's good versus evil. Simple as that.
It's far from simple, Barn. I need to be with my people. Since the Howleys first arrived, you know what we've been through if you know me at all.
There aren't going to be any good people left if we lose this war.
Good people? Ha! Are you that much in denial? Don't you understand what Roosevelt's executive order means? This place is a militarized zone. You are all enemy aliens. If I were you, I'd be halfway to Canada by now.
We are American, goddammit. We have more opportunity, more freedom than we ever would have had in Japan. And it's war, Cam, it's war. The order was given as a military strategic choice.
Oh, I understand the military strategy. General Emmons discharged all Nisei from the Hawaiian National Guard. How's that for a military strategy?
Barney has no reply. This is a lose-lose situation. Kamataka lowers his voice.
My people need me now.
Barney gestures to himself, Kesuke, and Janice.
And who are our people? No love here. Martial law in Hawaii. Madness in Japan. I'm not going to lay down in the sand and watch the whole world go to hell. Kesuke, help me out here.
Kesuke takes a breath.
Neither of you are wrong. Madness surrounds us all sides. But this is not you versus you. Everyone has a path. We each must make a choice.
Janice can't take it anymore. She hugs Kamataka, then breaks off toward the ferry building.
Look, Cam, I'm sorry, man.
Don't be, brother. He's right. I understand. I just have one favor to ask.
Anything.
And this goes for both of you. When you've got your sights set on a Nazi, just think of me once, okay? I'm asking you for just one dead Nazi.
That's a deal.
And 10 dead Nazis for Frank.
100 for Frank.
The ferry blows its horn. Yes! The young men shake hands with all their strength.
Aloha, Kamataka Kalahikiola.
Sayonara, Barney Hajiro. Goodbye, Kesuke Miyagi. Aloha. Malama pono. Ke akua pu ahui hu.
Kamataka turns and walks the plank onto the ferry. It disembarks into the haze. That was awesome. Wide overhead shot of Nihonmachi, San Francisco, now Japantown, facing downtown night. The sound of dogs barking in the not so distant background. Yuki! It's your time to shine, Yuki. There's the dog. Exterior Toyota household night. A post-1906 earthquake Victorian straddles the sidewalk. Interior. We're in the dining room. Red-hot embers simmer in the fireplace and candlelight. Illuminates the family memorabilia and home decor lining the mantle and built-in wall shelves. Janice and Kesuke are in the middle of an intense conversation, standing.
Yesterday, they shot bullets at the Kabashi's window, yelling, "Go back to Japan." And guess what? Today, the Kabashis are being evicted. No time to sell the restaurant. Gone.
Is it possible the Kabashis are spies?
I've known the Kawashis my whole life. Never. You're so ignorant.
仕方がない.
Kam was right. They're going to throw you on the front line and sacrifice you like pounds.
If that is the cost for Nisei to be treated fairly, I pay that price in blood.
Janice sobs. She can't stand to hear these words. Hiroka appears from the kitchen, where she's been eavesdropping.
This is what you get for marrying that bum.
Screw off, Hiroka.
Just
Just because you're too ugly and stupid to find a decent man doesn't mean I have to suffer for you.
No education, no family, no money. He's not fit to work for our family. Let him go off and die. It'll be what's best for you.
You're
Jealous dumb bitch.
Janice chucks a lit candle at Mrs. Hiroka, who shrieks as melted wax makes contact with her skin. An elderly woman appears at the top of the stairs. She hisses.
Enough! Take it outside.
Janice bursts out of the front door and into the night. Kesuke follows.
I will be treated like any other soldier, Janice.
You don't know this country. You think I'm safe here just because my family is here? Because this is where I'm from? Our general do it. You know what he says? A job is a job. Now that's logic you can't deny. We were not supposed to be outside right now. Past the curfew.
And if I don't fight, we lose. What then? Hirohito will come after us first.
Hirohito? Forget Hirohito. I'm talking about right here, right now. We don't even know where this asshole is relocating us. And you're going to fight for him?
They can both go to hell.
This outburst puts a pause on things.
Kesuke, I don't want you to go.
Janice, I don't fight for them. I fight for honor, for truth, for justice.
These are all values from the old country.
I fight for all that is good in my life. I fight for you.
Janice finally caves. She collapses into his arms. Wide. They've stopped in front of the painted ladies at Alamo Square Park.
What am I to do?
You will take care of the family, and that is your duty.
She is forced to accept this.
Promise me you will return.
I will return. I promise.
Promise me you will return, and we will find peace.
Peace is what I fight for.
Sorrowful embrace. Slow pan right, then focus on close-up. A bill posted to a telephone pole instructing all persons of Japanese ancestry to abide by Executive Order 9066. City Hall reflects an ambivalent, dull gray. Fade to black. The sound of heavy trucks rattling. Point of view, a bumpy shot. The sun pierces through holes of a canvas roof. Reverse shot. Kesuke squints into the light. Finding no answers, he wipes the sweat off his brow and adjusts his U.S. Army helmet. Over exterior, Army caravan. The transport vehicle trudges along a dirt path and passes through military guarded gates. Freeze on gates. Title, Camp Shelby, Hadesburg, Mississippi, May 1943. As the caravan rolls through the camp, we get glimpses of basic training, target practice, obstacle courses, marching drills, etc. Amongst the cadets is the 442nd Regimental Combat Team, an all-Nisei unit, the first of its kind. Exterior wooden barrack. Lieutenant Jack Pierce trains a squadron in hand-to-hand combat. Pierce is solid, 6'3", late 20s, brown military regulation haircut, strong jawline. He has formed a circle around two men. One is pinned into submission on the ground by Bubba Johnson, an enormous, loud, wife-beating man from Alabama.
Good work, Johnson. Travinsky, pivot your back leg and you're wasted. God damn it. Next.
Barney Hajiro steps up, decked out in oversized training gear. Bubba smiles.
Oh, we already had breakfast.
A few of the men snicker. Kesuke is not one of them. He watches intently. How will his karate lessons pay off here?
Go!
Barbara charges Barney out the gate, wanting to make a statement. Barney ducks quickly and counters with an elbow to the chin. The spectators react to this unexpected outcome, all except Kesuke.
Mosquito bite.
He advances again, more cautiously this time. Barney waxes off Johnson's first 2 strikes and counters with his own. Bubba doesn't appear to feel it. He grapples Barney, who quickly slips out and finds some distance.
You yellow son of a bitch.
He charges recklessly. Barney connects with a leg sweep, but Bubba trips over sideways and topples onto Barney, pinning him to the ground.
Goddamn Jap!
Bubba slugs Barney in the face.
Enough!
The onlookers rush to break it up. It takes 3 men to contain Bubba Johnson.
Johnson, report to your barracks immediately.
Bubba hawks a loogie, smiles wryly, walks off.
Hajiro, report to the infirmary. That is not how we trained.
Barney walks past, head down.
But it will do. Keep it up.
A glint of pride in Barney's swelling eye. Shot on Kesuke, it's the same stone face from the All Valley tournament. Now we've got a basic training montage, second montage. Picture it. So, drumline music, slow and steady. Marching double time at 0500. Obstacle course through mountain, field, and swamp. Kesuke trips in the swamp. An unknown Nisei picks him right back up. Cleaning rifles, firing pistols, hurling grenades. The grenade reminds Kesuke of a football. He turns his back leg, hits the target. Fixing bayonets. Kesuke's bayonet gets stuck awkwardly in a wooden target. He reaches for his waist and unsheathes a sword that isn't there. Slices and dices with an invisible sword. Obstacle course. As the Bubba Johnsons of the army get caught up in the barbed wire and stuck in the mud, the smaller Nisei slip right through, crossing a pontoon bridge. By now, the 442nd has become a highly efficient unit, performing with determination and ferocity. An unknown Nisei soldier trips. Kesuke picks him right back up, then flies through the rest of the course. Pierce looks at the stopwatch. Not bad. Not bad at all. Interior mess hall, night. The low buzz of clattering dishware marks the end of another hard day's work. Kesuke and Barney sit together at a segregated table. Kesuke is reading a letter while Barney chows down.
Can a guy get some rice?
He gestures at Kesuke's bread.
You gonna eat that?
Huh? No, you can have it.
You really should be eating more.
Barney scarfs it down.
I don't understand.
Angle in the letter. Janice's calligraphy is characteristically beautiful. Included is the photograph of herself pregnant from the Karate Kid.
I thought cameras were forbidden in Manzanar.
Hi, this is a high offense.
She always was a risk taker.
Kesuke snaps.
This is bullshit. This is American born in United States.
Calm down, buddy. I know.
How can we prove our loyalty? Nothing less than die. Nothing less than die.
Well, isn't that what Bushido is? The duty of death?
Empire invented that bullshit. Fighting against the Russian. Propaganda.
What was it you were saying last week about pacifist Bushido?
Bubba Johnson and his cronies happen to walk by.
Pacifist Bushido dates back to Yamagasoko in 17th century, who said,
Listen to these two talking Jap.
Kesuke and Barney turn to face the interruption. Here we meet Jim, a blonde poster child from Dallas, Texas. If Bubba is an offensive lineman, Jim is the quarterback.
Hey, Bubba, I heard the Japs like their fish raw.
Is that right, Jimbo? Well then, what do you say, you yellow bastards? How about something more to your liking?
With that, Bubba grabs the remains of a filleted fish from his dinner tray and slams its scaly head onto Barney's plate, splattering food everywhere. Jim cackles. A drop of fish sauce lands on Janice's letter. Kesuke erupts out of his seat.
You have no right. You insult our honor.
The entire mess hall has gone silent.
It looks like we have a scrappy one here.
Go back where you came from.
We fight for America.
Where were you born?
Hawaii.
Pimple territory on the ass of the ocean.
And you?
My wife born in San Francisco.
Your wife? Ha! And what does that make you?
You insult what it means to be American. Go back to Manzanar.
Kesuke does not back down.
What can we do to gain your respect?
Always looking for a fight, Bubba is pleased at Kesuke's unexpected spunk.
Meet us outside and show us you're worthy to fight for this country.
Without hesitation, Kesuke walks toward the back exit. In the process, he grabs something off screen. Barney takes a second to digest what just happened, then follows.
All right, fellas, free show. Place your bets.
A wide shot of the mess hall, Half starts yelling odds as slamming cigarettes onto the dining tables. On his way out, Kesuke passes a segregated African-American dining table.
Fuck him up, little man.
Kesuke nods, eye of the tiger. He intends to. Exterior mess hall, night. An incandescent light above the door casts a yellow oval onto the ground. Kesuke hurriedly instructs Barney.
They will come out swinging, but they tire fast. Big man drop guard, look for a hole inside, but too big for grab. So get out. Remember what big man do before.
Enter Bubba and Jim, followed by a score of spectators. They form a ring around the fighters.
What do you say, Jimbo?
I'll take Pimple.
I'm by me.
Bubba takes one last moment to size up his opponents, who stand silently in defensive positions.
These fucking maggots. This is from Montgomery.
The Dixie Boys attack. Bubba throws a set of sledgehammers at Kesuke, who slips the first three, then blocks one to the chest. The impact sets him back. It looks worse than it is. Jim's combinations are in pretty good form. Barney is having a rougher time. Each block takes its toll. Bubba throws a big boy punch. Kesuke hops backward and Bubba's knuckles miss by a fingernail. Kesuke bumps up against the ring of rambunctious spectators who push him forward.
You're fighting like a bitch. Come on, hit me.
Tauntingly, Bubba lowers his guard. Kesuke grants Bubba's wish and throws a combination of punches that connects in 3 places. Bubba must have felt that, but it's hard to tell. He hawks a loogie as if he can spit out pain.
That's better.
They dance. Meanwhile, Barney and Jim are going back and forth. Barney finds a hole in Jim's guard and hooks one in. Jim doesn't like that. He counters with a 1-2. Barney pivots to escape the danger zone, but when he does, his foot hits an exposed rock that throws him off balance. Jim takes advantage and charges. Somehow Barney stays on his feet. They tie up, struggling toward different ends. Jim trying to force Barney downward while Barney shuffles his feet to escape. In the process, they cross paths with the other dueling pair. And at this point, Bubba makes a decision. He yanks Jim and Barney apart and delivers a freight train to Barney's temple, knocking him out cold. Kesuke is aghast at this grossly unchivalrous move. The spectators don't care. They're high in the action.
What you say, Jim? You reckon all Japs go down that easy?
I reckon the war in the Pacific will be over before we graduate.
That's fine. I prefer Europe anyhow. Always wanted to see the Eiffel Tower.
Good. An instinct within Kesuke is triggered by this weakness. He lunges straight at Jim and karate chops through his half-assed guard. Jim goes down.
Fucker broke my collarbone.
This causes quite the uproar. In the background, Lieutenant Pierce appears through the door frame. He motions to stop the fight but hesitates, then decides to let it play out. He watches intently, unnoticed.
You slant-eyed son of a bitch.
He unleashes a hailstorm of heavy fire. Kesuke slips and ducks and slips, carefully evading tie-ups, keeping distance. He finds an opening and pops Bubba in the chin. Bubba's counterhook is too slow. Kesuke jumps back unscathed.
Quit running, you yellow jab.
Shortness of breath has revealed itself in Bubba's last insult. It's fucking time. Kesuke opens up a can of whoop-ass, unveiling karate kicks and punches the likes of which nobody has ever seen. The attack sends Bubba the tank engine to a knee. In a last-ditch effort, he charges full throttle. Kesuke sees it coming from a mile away. He counter-offers with a good old-fashioned leg sweep. then pounces on his fallen foe and administers a jiu-jitsu collar grab.
Surrender!
Never!
Bubba tries with all his might to break free, but Kesuke's struggle is impossibly strong.
We fight for United States of America. Fuck Hitler, fuck Mussolini, fuck Hirohito. Most of all, they're all going to rot in hell.
Kesuke cocks his fist. For the first time, we see fear in Bubba Johnson's eyes. Kesuke raises his fist like it's the hammer of Thor about to deliver thunder onto the earth. Extreme close-up, Kesuke's hammer lands a micron in front of Bubba's nose. The hammer turns back into a hand, and Kesuke reaches into his back pocket, pulls out the fish from the mess hall, and holds it an inch above Bubba's face.
You know why we like raw fish? Because it tastes like pussy.
Good. He takes a big bite out of the fish, scales and all, chews it and swallows. Beat. A pin drops, and Lieutenant Pierce breaks the ice with a low chuckle. The spectators turn and notice him for the first time. A handful of soldiers follow suit. Bubba turns his head. It takes a moment for him to comprehend this most unusual turn of events. But then he lets out one single guffaw that sounds like a cannon blast. This sets off a chain reaction, and momentarily the entire gathering is bellowing laughter. Everyone loses their shit. Even Jim and Barney, who are on the ground recovering from their injuries. Kesuke tosses the fish aside and dismounts. Two cadets offer to help up Bubba. He pushes them aside and gets up by his own damn self.
God damn it, Miyagi, you must be the dirtiest, sickest sumbitch I have ever met.
These are the ultimate compliments, and Kesuke knows it.
And you're right about one thing, we do fight for the United States of America.
He hawks a monster loogie, reasserting himself as the alpha male.
Miyagi!
The two men face each other.
Do you solemnly swear that you will not hesitate to destroy all enemies, including the Japanese, in the field of battle?
Yes, I swear.
What's the greatest country on earth?
United States of America.
Are you prepared to die face down in the muck to protect the freedom that this country stands for?
Yes, on my honor, I swear it.
Bubba sizes up Kesuke one last time.
Them Nazis gonna shit their panties when they see the 442nd coming. Just leave a few behind for us, would you? I've got some promises to keep.
And with that, Bubba extends his hand.
Go for broke, motherfucker.
Kesuke meets Bubba's grip with victorious strength. Cut to black. Hold. All right, that's Act 3. Now on to Act 4. The sounds of war fade in. Rifle, artillery, machine gun. Wide establishing, steep forested mountains salted with rain and snow. Day. Title, Basque Mountains, France. October 30th, 1944. Varying cuts. U.S. and Nazi soldiers doing their jobs. Riflemen in foxholes, artillery and mortar and machine guns loading and firing, engineers minesweeping, medics tending, tanks struggling through the mud, rain, snow, fog, and dense fir trees that provide cover for Nazi Colonel Rollins' snipers and grenadiers. The last geologic border between Germany and France, Hitler's orders to the 19th German Army are to defend these mountains at all cost. The U.S. 7th Army has its own directive, Operation Dogface, to break the Nazi line and force the war to the Alsatian Plain to solidify the Allied momentum once and for all. Reveal. Hundreds of white soldiers are dug in at the top of Hill 645. They've been cut off by Nazi flanks for a week, surrounded on all sides with only 2 machine guns to fend off continuous panoramic attacks. This is the 141st Infantry Regiment from Texas, the Alamo Regiment, now known as the Lost Battalion, by virtue of the dire situation that we are currently witnessing. A German 88 artillery shell hits the forest canopy. A maelstrom of organic flak rains down upon the Americans. And guess who has been given the rescue mission? Why? It's the combined forces of the 442nd Regimental Combat Team and the 100th Battalion, the first ever all-Nisei military unit in history, now known as the Purple Heart Battalion. Cut to the U.S. makeshift camp of K Company. A dozen Nisei soldiers go about their business under a canvas tarp. Some eat, some sleep, others are receiving medical treatment. It's hard to miss Lieutenant Pierce. He stands a solid foot above the others, and heavy winter gear adds to his already imposing presence. He's looking over a map with another white officer.
Goddamn Alamo Regiment is still stranded on that goddamn hill! For 4 goddamn days, General Dahlquist has failed to rescue them, and now we've got the goddamn order. It's just that goddamn Lost Battalion all over again.
That son of a bitch! What are we, expendable?
Enter Kesuke and Barney return from the battlefield. We are looking at 2 hardened soldiers, painted with blood and mud, innocence long lost. But all things considered, they're in pretty good shape. No appendages missing. They immediately report to their commanding officer.
Praise Jesus, Sergeant Miyagi and Private Hajiro, back from recon. This is Lieutenant Colonel Purcell, 3rd Battalion.
Sir.
Pierce's aide hands them a fresh canteen.
What'd you see out there, soldiers?
Jury-san, close, jury closed in all sides. 2 Alamo machine guns still in position.
Sir, they opened fire on our medics.
Goddamn son of a bitch!
Cowards. Listen, the airdrop missed.
Son of a bitch.
Look.
The lieutenants point at the map.
We're pinned down by the direct line of small arms fires and mortars coming through this ridge.
Tried to turn this flank, but the bluff is too goddamn steep. We've got to get some artillery behind us, but our goddamn tanks are stuck here.
Jerry, Grenadier Regiment here, and their 88s are stationed here. Could be a hole there.
Got to get up that goddamn hill. There's 300 Texan soldiers up there depending on us, and they don't have another goddamn day left.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
You've done one hell of a good job. Fuel up and report back at 1400. Prepare to fix bayonets.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I feel like I'm in Call of Duty. It's great. Kesuke and Barney walk over to a fallen tree and sit down against it. They tear in the cans of K rations offered by Pierce's aide.
Seems like a goddamn fine lieutenant.
Goddamn fine.
Mail came yesterday for Sergeant Miyagi.
In times like these, if one thing surpasses the appeal of food, it's mail. Kesuke quickly scans the envelope and opens it, quickly but carefully. Barney, meanwhile, chats between chews.
Fucking A, that was one hell of a shot on Jerry behind that boulder along the ridge. I didn't even see him.
Kesuke is totally absorbed by the mail. As he reads it, his facial expression changes rapidly from confusion to somberness, anger, nothing good. Not noticing, Barney continues on.
You know, they're right. We've got to get up that hill. Maybe I'm crazy, but did you see the tree that fell on that boulder?
Kesuke stares blankly at the letter. It is a message that will change his life forever.
Maybe if we could sneak by those damn rifles and scale that tree, use it as a ramp, it would land us a direct shot at the Jerry artillery. I mean, it would have to be a real sneak attack to get up there. Small numbers, real stealthy. But it could be done. Then, with the artillery cleared, we could charge.
Kesuke appears to be in shock.
Kesuke, what's the matter?
Kesuke's beans spill onto the ground.
What the hell, Kesuke? What's wrong?
Kesuke abruptly gets up and walks away, leaving everything behind.
Hold up!
The words fall on deaf ears. Barney decides to give his friend some space. He picks up the letter. Angle, formalized U.S. Army typeset.
We regret to inform you. The Manzanar Relocation Center, your wife and newborn son died due to complications arising from childbirth. Janice?
He shouts desperately.
Kesuke, come back! Miyagi! Miyagi!
Barney grabs his gear and runs out of the frozen frame. Extreme close-up. The viscous beans ooze eerily into the snow. The bonsai charge. A light dusting of white blankets the dense forest. Barney's shout echoes throughout the woods. Miyagi, 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 Miyagi. A helmetless Kesuke Miyagi emerges from the shadows, coming toward us, bloodthirsty vengeance in his eyes. The Miyagi sword is sheathed at his right hip, a pistol at his left. A grenade belt is fastened over his shoulder. All he can do now is avenge Janice and die with honor. But who is he seeking vengeance against? It doesn't matter anymore. With nothing left to live for, only 3 words manage to swirl around the dark cavern of his mind, the motto made famous by the 442nd RCT, go for broke. Keeping low, Kesuke prowls the woods like a tiger. A light crunch can be heard with each footstep. He approaches an incline, picks up speed, and leaps up onto the side of a fallen tree that serves as a ramp up to the ridge where the German defense lays. Then, halfway across, he stops on a dime and freezes, balanced on one foot, crane style. 2 Nazi riflemen walk along the ridge. Reverse shot, an American airdrop hangs limply from a high tree branch. If you concentrated hard enough, you might be able to spot Keisuke's foot sticking out from the side of its trunk. The sentries continue along their route. Kesuke slowly lowers his leg, then sprints full throttle up the rest of the tree, launches from the top, rolls, draws the sword, and decapitates the rifleman in quick succession. He takes a moment to assess the Nazi encampment. Then, Kesuke stalks along the ridge and finds a pair of Nazis manning a machine gun. In a flash, their heads have gone missing. He continues on, slides into a trench, and another Nazi, who is lighting a cigarette, joins the club. Kesuke turns the corner of the trench, and there, 15 yards away, a Nazi officer spots in. Kesuke rushes full tilt and screams at the top of his lungs.
Banzai!
The yell shocks the officer into slight delay. Kesuke jumps feet forward, 2-hand grip on the blade protruding forward like a long metal toenail. The shot from the Nazi's Luger grazes Kesuke's left shoulder. The sword rips through the Nazi's chest and pins him against the trench wall, cutting off his yell. Kesuke dislodges the sword, sprints, and hurtles out of the trench, landing himself at the feet of another Nazi rifleman. Point of view, the Nazi thrusts his bayonet straight down. Kesuke rolls. The blade misses his belly by an inch. From the ground, Kesuke's first slice removes the front end of the bayonet. The second slice separates the Nazi's feet at the ankles, and the third slice adds another tally to the killing spree. Kesuke gets up and spots his primary target, a column of Nazi artillery, the famous 88 millimeters, and a Panzer II tank. He sheaths the sword. A handful of Nazis spot him from a distance, and they open fire. Kesuke delivers the fear of God with his next Banzai scream. Cut. K Company bolts up like meerkats, including Barney, who is desperately explaining the situation to Lieutenant Pierce. Cut back. Kesuke grabs a grenade in each hand, bites off the pins, sprints straight through the artillery column, and chucks the grenades at the 88s.
Banzai!
He vaults onto the tank. The grenades explode behind him. Boom, boom. He opens the top hatch of the tank, drops 2 grenades into the shaft, closes the hatch, launches off, lands with a signature roll. The grenades go boom. Kesuke gets hit in the thigh by a rifle shot. He doesn't feel it, and takes out 2 more 88s.
Banzai!
This time the call is echoed. Cut. A dozen Nisei charge up the ridge. A deluge of Nazi fire floods down upon the slope. Kesuke has gone fucking berserk. He chucks his remaining grenades at a machine gun turret, then whips out his pistol and discharges the clip with deadly accuracy. The response to his next Banzai yell is quadrupled. Kesuke picks up a Nazi submachine gun, and the Nazis say hello to his little friend. All hell breaks loose. The 442nd assaults Hill 645, lobbing grenades, firing from the hip, what the history books now call the Banzai charge. This is all real, by the way. Barney, Hajiro, who was real also, and Lieutenant Pierce take out Nazis left and right with rifle, pistol, and grenade. Close up Barney aiming rifle.
For Kamataka.
Headshot. Boom. The unit is nearly caught up when Kesuke gets hit twice by a covered machine gun. He goes down. Pierce responds by hurling grenades at the turret. One finds its way through the opening. Boom. By covering fire for Kesuke, Pierce has exposed himself. Suddenly, a burst of Nazi crossfire sends him to the great beyond. Barney sees this, and now it's his turn to unleash the dragon. He blitzes up the hill, screaming Banzai, and comes upon another covered machine gun turret. He reaches for grenades. None left. Rushes into the dugout.
For Frank!
His bayonet rips through the back of the Nazi gunner. The ammunition feeder comes at Barney with a knife. Barney's bayonet is stuck. He releases it just in time to block a lethal jab. Whacks off. He struggles with the Nazi's full-strength attack, then connects a karate chop to the neck that ends this bout of mortal combat. He takes a few furious breaths, then peers through the slot to see wide shot of the 442nd charging up the hill. At the head of the charge is Kesuke Miyagi. Barney exits the dugout.
Miyagi!
They make eye contact. Neither can believe the other is still alive. An extreme rush, too much for words.
Banzai!
Banzai!
With the others close behind, they are the first to scale the final ridge. Total mayhem envelops the scene. As the tide of Nisei pour over the ridge, the Nazis turn and run. Out of nowhere, a grenade lands a few yards behind Kesuke. It detonates. Kesuke is hurled forward. His head hits a rock. Smash cut to black. The blackness holds and holds. Next scene. Letterman Hospital, San Francisco. In a faraway land, muffled voices are faintly heard.
Miyagi. Miyagi, can you hear me?
The darkness fades into a blur. Two figures are hovering above us. Kesuke's bed occupies the bulk of a poorly lit hospital room. Nurse Catherine McDougal can't hide her excitement. She's been sticking by Kesuke's side for a long time. The other person is Barney Hajiro. His left arm is in a sling, but he's jumping for joy.
It's a miracle.
McDougal rushes out of the room and shouts.
Dr. Kaplan, 232. He's waking up.
Kesuke grumbles back into consciousness.
That's it, buddy. That's it.
Enter gray-haired Dr. Kaplan.
Give him some space, please. Vitals?
80/60, 50 BPM.
Where am I?
Can you believe it? It's a miracle.
That's it. That's it. We're taking care of you, honey.
Awesome.
Kesuke Miyagi, we are in the Letterman Hospital in San Francisco, California. You are recovering from a coma.
When am I?
The date is September 9th, 1945.
1945? What happened?
A grenade exploded right behind you, Kesuke. I saw the whole thing. I can't believe it.
Now, let me do my job, please.
Barney concedes reluctantly.
Kesuke Miyagi, you've suffered rapid blood loss resulting from multiple bullet wounds and severe trauma to the head, resulting in comatose.
Nurse McDougal can't resist.
You led the Banzai charge that rescued the Lost Battalion.
Banzai? Lost Battalion?
That's what they're calling the 141st Infantry, those Texas boys, the Alamo Regiment.
Kesuke nods, grunts.
Kesuke, you cleared the artillery line on Hill 645. A handful of 88s, a Panzer tank, at least a dozen Jerrys along the way. You took them all out. I thought for sure you were a gunner.
I don't remember.
Please, we need to take it easy.
442 second. One puka.
Barney musters a proud response.
They say over 800 Nisei casualties.
Kesuke nods at Barney's arm.
What happened to you?
Oh, this? It's nothing. After that, we were sent to the Gothic line in Italy, a real cakewalk after France. Got hit by a stray. Rejoined in Monte Carlo, which is where we're going to surf as soon as we get the hell out of here.
Kesuke isn't buying into Barney's lighthearted attempt.
Pierce?
Barney shakes his head. Kesuke chooses not to believe it.
Where next fight?
Kesuke, the war is over.
Over?
It's over, man. The war is over.
What? Over? What happened?
Well, when Hitler heard we were coming to visit Berlin, he killed himself.
Killed himself?
Didn't want to host us. Go figure.
Smart choice.
They share a semblance of a smile. It doesn't last long. Kesuke is beginning to remember.
Hirohito?
Barney swallows. There's no sugarcoating this.
It's not good.
Give it to me straight. God damn it.
We dropped atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Japan surrendered last Sunday.
Kesuke's vitals spike.
Atomic bomb was real? How big?
Barney shakes his head despondently.
We're not sure exactly. 100,000 casualties at least.
100,000 civilians? No, not possible.
It's too much to process. He struggles uncomfortably.
Janice!
Kesuke's vitals freak out. He enters a spasm, eyes popping out of his head.
Jesus Christ, Doc, what's going on?
What did I say? Pentasio, stat.
Jan!
McDougal passes a syringe to Kaplan, which he quickly administers. Kesuke lets out a penetrating scream, then surrenders to the heavy sedative. We cut to the black abyss. 2 beats. Fade from black. Exterior Christie Field, San Francisco, morning. Kesuke Miyagi, dressed in khaki U.S. Army slacks, stares distantly. He is standing upright, recovered, physically at least. Reverse shot of the wide overhead exterior of the Golden Gate. The fog is beginning to burn off. There's that damn bridge where so many people have decided to end it all. Not here, not yet. One last thing to do. Kesuke puts on a pair of aviators, covering the dark pits of despair in his eyes, then mounts a 41 Harley Davidson, gives it a rev, and heads east along the waterfront. A medium shot of the 101 south side along the freeway. Kesuke zips by it, extreme wide. Crossing the Central Valley, Sierras in the background. High noon. Extreme wide, winding through the Sierras, emerges on the other side, rips through the desert, clouds of dust in his wake. Close up, portrait of Miyagi, aviators, no helmet, with black and white footage of Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombings overlapping the frame. We arrive to a strange place in the desert. Kesuke slows down and passes by a barbed wire chain link fence. Pan over and zoom out to extreme wide overhead. Hundreds of cabins, all identical as far as the eye can see. Title, Manzanar Internment Camp, California. Kesuke navigates through the ghost town. Empty sentry towers, an abandoned bicycle, blowing tumbleweeds. He stops, dismounts, grabs the Miyagi sword off the bike, and walks in a very particular direction. The chopper falls over. Wide shot of the soul-consoling tower, the 15-foot high white obelisk marking the cemetery at Manzanar, where 146 incarcerees died during internment. The monument contrasts starkly against the magnificent snow-capped mountains in the background. Reverse shot push-in shots of Kesuke and the obelisk. As he trudges forward, it feels like time itself is about to break. Kesuke falls to his knees at the base of the monument. He takes off his aviators, and we see the eyes of a tormented soul. A gust of wind smacks him in the face, dust clinging to his tears. He unsheaths the sword and turns it toward his bowels in accordance with the Japanese suicide ritual of seppuku. Pan right, over to the horizon, mountains meeting desert scrub. Hold here for a while. A gust of wind kicks dust into a spiral for the most torturous amount of time imaginable. At least Kesuke Miyagi walks across the still frame, slightly toward us, aviators back on. He has chosen to live. Cut back over to the obelisk. There, laying squarely across its base, is the Miyagi sword, extreme wide obelisk. It can hardly be made out against the humbling background. Fade to black. Penultimate scene, exterior, the Crossroads Diner, afternoon. The Harley is parked in front of a diner and gas station in the middle of nowhere along Route 66. Interior, nothing fancy. Kesuke sits pensively at the bar, dirt smeared across his face, staring at his hands. A sturdy, young, big-eyed, blonde waitress named Julie approaches.
Hi there, honey. Something to drink?
Coffee.
Sure thing.
She pours.
Some room for cream?
Black.
Something to eat?
Not hungry.
This isn't the first forlorn soldier that Julie has served. In fact, she's quite fond of American soldiers. And typically, they don't mind her either.
Are you the 442nd?
Kesuke looks up, surprised. He nods.
I knew it. You rescued the Lost Battalion, didn't you?
Same nod. Across the bar, an old white man perks up. A deep Texas drawl validates his 10-gallon hat, thick white mustache, and bolo tie.
Julie, his meal's on me. What you're having, soldier?
No hungry, sir. Thank you.
Oh, no, buddy, you're on the line now. Julie, give him something American.
You got it.
My nephew, name of James Guthrie Jr., is 36th Infantry Division. Told me all about the 442nd and the one Puka Puka. What's your name, soldier?
Miyagi. Sergeant Kensuke Miyagi.
Old Texas doesn't speak much, but his words are final, and the whole joint can hear them.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, Sergeant Miyagi. Yep, the highest casualty rate the Army's ever seen, far as we can tell. I was over in Frog Country before you, son, for the first big showdown. We're kind folk, as I see it, you and me.
Kesuke looks Old Texas dead in the eyes and nods seriously. Old Texas reciprocates. Julie places a big slice of apple pie in front of Kesuke. He takes a bite. It tastes sweet.
That's good, huh?
Hi, thank you.
So, where are you heading now, sugar?
I don't know. West.
You don't know, really, though? Are you looking for something? Somebody?
Kesuke looks over to Old Texas, who gives a nod that says, "Permission to speak freely, soldier."
Peace. I looking for peace.
Peace? You want another piece of pie?
Huh? No.
One for the road?
No, thank you.
Oh, I changed it. This is the change I made last minute. So he says, "Hi, one for the road," which I like.
Well, honey, West on Will Rogers will take you to one place and one place only, and that's the big city. You don't know what you'll find there, but you'll find something, that's for sure. Plenty of fish in that sea.
Hi.
Another bite brings Kesuke one step closer back to Earth.
Well, Sergeant, let me know if you'd like anything else. Take care of yourself, Mr. Miyagi.
Nice. Wide, medium shot, classic Route 66 sign. Kesuke zips by it on his Harley. Extreme wide, cruises past Los Angeles. The sun is going down. It's the end of the road. Kesuke parks the chopper on the boardwalk and watches the waves come in. A perfect California sunset illuminates the pastel sky. Children eating ice cream, beautiful people laughing, seagulls squawking, surfers soaking in the last rays of light. Out of the corner of his eye, a butterfly catches Kesuke's attention. Must be a sign from heaven. He watches it flutter over to a cluster of coastal shrubs scattered around some big wooden fence posts, wooden pier pilings sticking out of the sand. Kesuke walks down to the beach, steps up onto a piling, and looks out. Wide shot of the sun, deep red, it's halfway descended into the water. Close up, Kesuke. He takes a deep sigh. Wide shot of the sunset. Just before the horizon, two whales breach the surface, blowholes spraying. Close up of Kesuke. What a strange trip it's been. But who would believe it? A wave of solace washes over our humbled protagonist. He submits to the balance of joy and pain, strength and peace, east and west, circle of life. Medium. Kesuke Miyagi enters crane pose and performs its variations. The sun descends over the horizon. Title: Miyagi. Fade to black.
Yeah. Woo!
Encore. Encore.
It's so good.
Masterpiece. Wow.